Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 182. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I'm one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you to be on it. For $3.99 a month, you can be part of that app. And what you will get with that $3.99 is access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit, and she will deliver to your calendar 3 bodyweight exercises each week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. For $9.99 per month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer, everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to Spartan races to triathlons. If you or someone you know does not have $3.99 per month and you think that fitness would enhance the quality of your life or their life, email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. You're more than welcome to use the app free of charge.
You're just going to give it away.
You're going to give it away. You can have it. You can have it. If they need it, they can have it. If they want it, they have to pay for it.
Somebody's volume's on.
What?
Somebody's volume's on.
Somebody's phone volume?
Well, I have a watch party going.
Vaughn's having a party over there.
Sorry.
It came across my computer and it threw me off.
I feel like I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. I need to explode with a watch party.
Okay.
Vaughn forgot how this works.
No, I turned it down.
Did you guys hear Vaughn had such a big time at Disney World that he shut the place down?
They had to close it.
He blew the roof off of it.
I drank so many Starbucks and ate so many Dole Whips that they just had to close it down.
I have sitting to my right my favorite person, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan. How are you?
Good evening.
You look lovely.
Why, thank you.
You doing good?
I'm doing pretty good. It's changed out of my scrubs into something comfy.
Yeah? You've
It's
had a
cold
busy
in here.
week?
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, this seems like there's a flu or something going around.
Oh, God, please don't talk about it.
If you, we're going to talk about it.
So tired of talking about it.
Do you have meetings every day talking about it?
Yes. Anyway,
Are those yoga jeans?
they are.
Those look amazing.
Yeah, they're comfy. They
What
look
is
like
a
jeans,
yoga
but they're
jean?
really just stretchy pants.
They look like jeans.
Is that
I don't think I can hear
They're
you.
leggings.
Is that the brand Yoga Jean?
That's where I'm talking.
Yeah, hear him?
Thump your microphone. Do it again.
I can hear his microphone being thumped.
Well, give me a second.
How about this one? Is that one better?
No, just, uh-oh.
Is that one better?
Do the other one. See, only one of them's working. Put the other one on.
Put the other one.
I think the one on the table you were thumping is the one that's recording.
Yeah, do that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Be right back.
Man, all
Man,
those
for-
profound things that you said while nobody was listening. I'm really sorry
The
about
secret
what
to
happened.
life.
For such a high level performing person, he can't even put the right headset on. It's crazy.
Well, he was waiting for someone to put it on for him. He's used to have
That's what it is.
Just the talent.
He doesn't
somebody there to do these
He
things.
doesn't have his assistant here.
That
Because they missed that.
is Von Rawls, the Reverend,
What?
back in town
Here I am.
from Disney World.
Disney World.
Shut it down. The club couldn't even
Shut it.
handle you right now.
You're right. Mickey just said, Vaughn's gone. I'm gone. This is all.
Deuces.
As soon as you left, that was like when they shut it down, right?
The next day.
The next day.
They closed the gates behind him and his family.
Wow.
They
Man,
did.
that's something.
Says a lot.
It does.
It's not the same place without the Rawls there, so
It's not. It really isn't.
we're just going to shut it down for a month or two.
It had been a couple of years since we've been, and they were so overwhelmed by our presence that they just had to shut it down.
Was it as good as it's ever been?
Yes, it was good. And I'll tell you why, because it's been 2 years since we've been there, and there's a lot of new stuff.
Was the Star Wars stuff open?
The Star Wars stuff is open. And, like, there's a new trend in rides. Like, Rise of the Resistance is, like, an amazing experience. Like, it's a completely different ride. Like, it's not a roller coaster on a track. It's like this box you sit in that moves around. I don't even know how it's like GPS or something. Like, I don't know how they move this ride around. It's not on a track.
Okay.
It's amazing. And we rode a ride that opened on March the 4th, Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railroad, which is the same kind of thing. You get in it and there's no track, but this box is like moving around with no driver.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's really cool. I just like this new trend of ride where it's totally different than what you've experienced in the past with your traditional get on a ride and it's on a track and do all the stuff. Like, you're almost immersed in it. Like, with Rise of the Resistance, you get captured and you're standing in this line and there's like this guy who's like, standing in line, we're going to take you in and process you. And then you go in this room and it's this giant room of stormtroopers standing there like,
cool.
like you're in the movie.
That's
and I
awesome.
was like, oh man, like, this is amazing. Like, it's like this giant room with a troop load of stormtroopers.
And you think it's real people, not just mannequins in stormtrooper outfits?
Well, it feels that way.
Well, no, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And then you go through the whole process of going
Who
through.
was it?
It is just really amazing, and it's like, I can only imagine in another 5 to 10 years what these rides are going to be like.
So,
you know,
a buddy of mine, like a month or so ago, went to Disney World, got on Rise of the Resistance. His wife needed some kind of assistance, like a wheelchair or something like that. And they went through the line, and like a stormtrooper came and got them and like took them away for like special processing, like, and was kind of mean to them, like you would expect, like,
right.
like, oh, you got to come with us. We're going to take you for questioning. And it was really just to get them through the line without the wheelchair or whatever and get them to where they needed to be. But it still it was all kind of like part of the experience. Like, they were like jerked out of line to go.
The whole Galaxy's Edge is amazing. Like, they have stormtroopers patrolling the area, and they'll stop. They'll be walking with their weapons, and they'll stop. And like I saw him stop, and one kid, he was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm just." He goes, "Do you want to get arrested today?" And the kid's like, "I don't want to get arrested." And he goes, "That's probably smart." You know, like, they'll just do smart butt things like that. You know, it just really is amazing. So anyway, that's where I was last week. So,
Well, I'll tell you about another amazing experience that's coming up October 17th.
because you forgot.
hopefully,
It's the Big Hill Pond Walking Tall 25K and 50K.
We
The
won't-
third annual.
You think
Put
it's
on
going to
by
go
Brian
on?
Williams
We
and Sean
won't
Hills.
have
That's going to be the last safe place on earth. With all of us meeting up in that park.
We'll be the last ones alive.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
If it's
Yeah, that's a
will.
long ways out.
it really is.
Of course, I don't know. Hell, I mean, I didn't think it would get to
Big Buffalo got
this
canceled
far.
today.
Big Buffalo
Yes, it
got
did.
canceled.
Big Buffalo got
The
canceled.
Chris Hope Foundation 5K has not been canceled. And you can go there and get registered, get signed up as a spirit runner or virtual runner.
Just to be clear, the 25K was never a thing for Chris Hope. It's just
it wasn't.
It was a 5K. Has
That
not
was
been
just a
canceled.
slip of the tongue. However, the 25K is a part of the Fortitude Trail Race put on by Peter Mellon on September 19th to benefit St. Jude.
And he just released a discount today.
That he did.
Yeah,
And you can
those
find it on the Lift Heavy Run Long community Facebook page. So come join that group.
I don't know why you aren't
You
already
know-
on it, but
You know how I know that there's a lot of people home working from home and all that kind of thing because of the thing that Amanda doesn't want to talk about? Not to take away from our awesomeness, but we have a lot of live viewers right now. We
do.
are their entertainment.
It's good for business.
Because they're like, man, I've been sitting at home all day.
They're so bored. It's like, oh, I'll
Can't
watch
leave the
this.
house.
This has really worked out in my favor in a lot of ways. It just has. It's been like a snow day.
Have people come to you to get advice on how to be socially distant? Oh no! Vaughn's the expert on social distancing.
He's been a correspondent with the Center for Disease Control or whoever's in charge of all that.
NBC News, he's like their expert. Like, can I tell you in all seriousness? I went to dinner with my kids last night at Huey's, and when we pulled up, I was actually surprised how busy they were. Like there was a line to be seated. Once we got inside, they are themselves practicing social distancing by not seating every table. So they're making sure that any table is at least 6 feet away from any other table that's seated, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Really?
That is pretty awesome, but it's crazy that we're not far away from just shutting those restaurants down.
Well, but my brother brought up a good point. Of course, he saw it in the meme because memes have just totally dominated the coronavirus.
absolutely.
If you really want to know what's going on, just check your memes.
That
Your brother's watching.
our grandparents were asked to go and fight a foreign war and leave their families and go risk death. We are asked to sit on our ass in the comforts of our own home, and we're like,
Actually, don't leave.
we can't do it.
Oh, I can totally do it.
We can't do it.
I can do it.
Yeah. So
Have you been doing that? Have you been adhering to the
self quarantine?
after you got back from Disney World?
After I got back to Disney World. Right. Yeah, so far. But
Now we find out why Vaughn's company really shut down, and they don't want people at the office.
Are
don't
y'all
want me to
taking
go
it
there.
seriously? Are you obeying the rules?
man,
Amanda, you can't because you work at a hospital.
I am the opposite of that.
Yeah, well, that's your duty is to be the opposite of
I'm
that.
up mixing with it, trying to find it.
Trying to find it.
there you go.
I'm probably an unhealthy mix, but I'm going to say a healthy mix of it. I feel really, really bad for the small businesses, restaurants, and stuff like that might be suffering because of people not coming out. I've been trying to order more like delivery food, DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever, but also just going out to places and actually eating at places. I have one person in my life that is probably in an at-risk group, and I am just not worried about catching it and getting sick for a minute and then having to stay home like the flu or something like that. I'm not saying it's not risky. There's definitely a lot of people. The problem is, and Amanda can definitely speak better this than I can, but it's like if you don't know you're sick and you're around people who then get sick and don't know they're sick and they're around at-risk people, that's where the danger lies. And so you just got to be careful about who we're around and that kind of a thing, which is true all the time, even when there's not a pandemic.
My feelings have shifted. I was probably playing around with it a little bit too much at first. Like, everybody's just overreacting and there's nothing to worry about and just kind of willy-nilly. And then the longer it's gone on and the more that they've tightened down and really seeing Corona Katie on Twitter and the response that she got and is now the most hated human being in America because of some comments she made regarding, just going to a restaurant and eating her food and just not giving a crap about what's going on around her. It kind of made me think, it's really not about me. And so I've just been like, well, I'm just not going to worry about it, but I don't have anything to worry about in the first place. I'm the person to worry about if I'm not, staying as holed up as I can. However, I'm still out working, it's just me and Pedro in a truck outside.
Right.
I don't have a job, fortunately, that requires me to go into an office with.
You're not
20
congregating
other
with 10 or
people.
more people.
No.
And that kind of a thing.
Well, there's a couple of things. One is there are small business so Italy and Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, are on a lockdown.
They've closed their borders.
You can't.
Israel too.
You can't do anything, and if you have a business, it's closed. Right? It is unless it's like I think of like a grocery store. What I heard was like a grocery store or maybe a gas station or something. non-essential businesses are closed. And if you own a small business and that's your livelihood, and all of a sudden the governor of your state says you got to shut your doors, what are you going to do? Like, that's a huge deal. Like that could be, devastating to a lot of people. And there are a couple of states who are starting to do that right now.
So
Ohio, and there's another one. I can't remember now, but that they just shut everything down.
The vast majority of small businesses, let me tell you how many months I have to operate with no income coming in. About less than one. So if you told me to shut my doors for 8 weeks, I guess I would just be done.
Terrible.
And I assume that the majority of small businesses are about like that.
the government's trying to help. I mean, it's helping in their way, and whether or not it's effective will be determined later. But Trump announced today that there's a thing that's like they won't employers won't have to pay their portion of income taxes for employees. That's one way to kind of offset the costs. SVA has some emergency disaster funding available, low interest loans to help keep those businesses afloat.
Does insurance cover anything like that?
No,
Will they cover lost revenue or?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know if this would be considered a disaster type of thing or a national disaster.
Well, at the point that your state governor declares the state a disaster area or whatever they call it, you qualify for a lot of those things. Even though it's not a natural disaster, you do qualify at the point that the governor declares it.
So the Big Buffalo 50K has been canceled. 50 miler, 25K relay, all that stuff has been canceled.
The Boston Marathon has been postponed.
Oh, wow.
Rome Marathon was canceled.
Disney World is closed. Like
Disneyland is closed.
Disneyland is. I don't know, how crazy is that? It seems.
And they're saying to shut
so
things down
wild.
for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, that's 2 months.
Thanks for that math.
Believe that. I got it written down.
It's almost 60 days.
Pretty close. Yep. That's enough to give every American a day.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many babies are going to be conceived?
That was the funny thing is like that. Those are the funny memes that I'm seeing
Corona
a lot
babies.
of. Is basically like
Corona
how many babies are going to be coming out in 9 months. And
Well, we see the waves.
And I saw one person. It was probably like a repost from somewhere else, but they were like, "If you're having a baby shower 8 months from now, expect me to show up with toilet paper and Corona beer, and you better laugh because we all know how this baby was created." You know.
Yep. We see the waves. We see, 9 months from Valentine's Day, 9 months from Christmas.
It's weird when you go in the grocery store and there's no meat on the shelves at all.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this at the gym, but like I went into Kroger and there's no meat. Like, you go back to the butcher and it's like full of steaks and ground beef and seafood and everything else. And it was empty. It was empty.
Nothing.
And all the shelves were empty. There was
When you say empty, do you mean really scarce or was it empty?
It was completely empty.
Really?
Except for this Kroger that has a manager special, and there were 2 little packs. One was bacon, and one was 2 chicken shish kebabs.
Did you buy both?
No, we almost did. They were too expensive. I was like, this is marked up too much. But the whole thing was empty, and the butcher was back there. Who knows what he was? He just standing there with his little white coat on, just like.
There ain't got no meat.
There's no meat in here. Like,
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? No, what do you want me to
I
say?
wanted to ask him, hey man, can you cut me a T-bone? or
Eat the
something
shish
like-
kebabs.
Well, I got no meat back here.
I got the shish kebabs out. Quit complaining about the prices being high.
No, there was literally nothing there, and that's just weird.
Yeah. The whole thing is really, really strange. Hey, I would like to congratulate myself for being part of Dawn's profile picture.
I did send her that picture.
Katie and I look great.
Did you see it today?
It's a really good picture of Dawn and her daughter.
Dawn called and said, "Yeah, I really want you and Katie to be on my
She
Facebook
really
wall."
called you and asked you?
No.
I saw that. Yeah.
Well, but look at Wilson and Katie in the
It's
background
like
of the picture.
Russian Katie.
I called her hillbilly Katie earlier.
Vodka.
And then Amanda called me a creeper. And I look like a creeper. Like she said, you look like the one that wasn't invited in the picture, but just came over and stuck your big head in there.
You know what's funny is she left it that way. You know she's seen it. She's like, oh yeah.
it looks great. It looks great. Thanks, Dawn. It means a lot.
I can't post a picture on the live feed.
Oh,
Good stuff.
I had a question. You said something this week, and I can't remember what the question was about it. Last week we talked about like some things that we had to clarify on how to say properly, like sayings. And you said, I'm going to do that to spite something.
spite her face.
Was it spite? And
And-
was it in
Cut off her
spite
nose.
or
Cut off her
to
nose.
spite?
It's in spite
In
of.
spite of her
In
face.
spite of.
You know, because Michael Scott said spider face.
Spider-Man.
Is that what brought it up?
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Scott misquotes like a lot of the normal quotes, and it's
Katie
just funny.
said that hat kept her ears warm. We shouldn't hate on her.
No. Nobody.
She looked very warm at Tunnel Hill. I mean, at Sillamore.
Vodka.
Hey, we almost went into this last week and we didn't have any time. I want to talk about snacks. And now's a good time to talk about
I like
snacks because
snacks.
we're all in the.
Why are we talking about snacks?
I'm
What-
I'm
is there
all out of
something-
quarantine snacks already.
Is there something else you'd like to talk about?
No, but that's a weird topic to.
No, don't you remember we were? You weren't here last week, or no,
She
you were
was
here
here.
last week.
Yeah.
with
I
Holly, we
wasn't
were
here.
supposed to. He gave us the opportunity to let him continue to lead the conversation. We decided to take over.
Okay.
And then right when he's like, I wanted to talk about snacks, but now we're out of time, and I was like, oh, snacks. I wish we had talked
I
about
asked you guys if y'all wanted to take over the conversation. We sat there for
And
like
here
20
we are.
seconds with just silence.
Here we are about to talk about snacks.
All right,
Amanda,
snacks,
what
fine.
would you like to talk about?
No, that's fine.
Snacks.
No,
She
this
wants to
is you
talk
call
about
it.
snacks.
No, snacks.
This is,
Scooby snacks.
This is like free skate.
Free skate.
This is your opportunity to talk about whatever you want.
No.
Snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
good. Let's talk about snacks. What is, if you could only have one snack,
Snack.
you can have one trail snack during a
Trail
race,
snack?
and then you can have one home snack while you're at home. And you can have those forever, as many as you want, but you got to sign up for each one of them. What would your trail snack be?
Man, you haven't even finished that question, and we already have comments on the answer.
Well, I want to know what they
I
are.
have answers.
It's because it's a good fucking question, is what it is. And
Hey,
y'all
don't
are
curse.
dogging the answers. Y'all are dogging the questions.
The first answer that came across was pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls.
Pizza roll, okay.
Who said that?
Shanna Stangler?
Those are my people.
Now that's a trail snack or a home snack.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Shannon needs to.
Yes.
Well, but if she can only have one, she can't have pizza rolls and pizza. I guess she can.
Yes, you can.
I can have pizza rolls on the trail.
But I
not
bet she
at
wants
home.
something different. You need to ask.
Why are
Shannon.
you trying to keep her from living her best life?
Okay. let me
Best life.
let me help her out.
Trail. She said trail snack.
I'll
Trail
help
snack.
her out. Pizza rolls on the trail, ponchos, cheese dip, and chips at home.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty.
course it
They're
is.
pretty closely related, though.
There's some cheese.
You could actually
You got to
put-
think this thing through.
You can put the pizza rolls in the ponchos dip.
Not if you
If
chose
you-
it for the trail.
Well,
You can't be at trail and home
you
at
got
the
to
same
separate
time.
those then. So
I'm pretty boring.
What do
compared to
you
all
want,
that.
Amanda?
So I don't think I can have them anymore, but I would have chosen Pringles for the trail
Pringles.
run.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Why?
It's just a bad answer.
Okay, and then Cheez-Its
it's
for
not
home.
sexy.
None of that is good at all.
Oh, I like
That wouldn't.
Cheez-Its.
I mean, that's what Cheez-Its is.
I
What
can eat a
what
whole
you
box
eat
of Cheez-Its.
when you
Cheez-Its.
just don't have anything left.
No.
Like when you've eaten everything else.
Like
Cheez-Its
spicy
are good.
Cheez-Its are good.
They're good, but I mean, you're not gonna like
I
make
want
a day
like,
of it.
I want to go to the store and get some Cheez-Its. I'm like that.
Nothing to dip it in.
No.
To me, the chip or the cracker or whatever your choice of carbohydrate is merely
Easy
a
for you to
vehicle
say.
to get the dip into my mouth.
Brian made it funny.
What did he say?
He said easy for you to say.
Have you never heard that before? When somebody stumbles over a thing? That's easy for you to say.
Oh, man, that was a good one.
All right, well, what do you want, Brian?
I don't know that I have. So trail snack. My trail snack that I love is actually potatoes and salt. Saltier the better.
I can't say that's bad.
No, it's good, but it's not. If that's going to be
It's
your
not.
only
Yeah,
trail
it's
snack.
it's not sexy, and I agree with that. Mine would probably be soup of some sort, like a chicken
That's
noodle soup or
worse.
something like that.
Yeah.
Is that considered a snack?
That's not a snack.
That's not a snack food.
Also, I need to know what Shanna's home snack is.
She
now.
said chips and salsa.
Okay.
Oh, jinx.
Oh, she almost got 100%. If
My
you only
home
said poncho
snack.
soup.
I guess if you snack on soup.
I'll tell you what my home snack is. I mean, every single day I go home and I grab a handful of cashews. And then I go for another handful, and then another
Cashews.
handful. I eat a lot of cashews.
All right, Wilson, well, what's your famous?
I was thinking more along the lines of when I said snacks, I was thinking like cakes.
Like Little Debbie cakes?
Yeah.
Like Christmas
Okay.
tree
Well, I
cake.
like
Hey, that's exact.
Swiss
As
roll.
a matter of fact, I was thinking.
Changing my answer,
of
Swiss roll.
Swiss rolls. What about zingers? You like zingers?
Little Debbie.
I'd rather have a Swiss roll.
I've never heard that jingle. Do it again.
Little Debbie has a snack for you.
Did you make that up, or is that a real jingle?
I think it's real.
Okay.
Somebody
is
back
now.
me up on this.
So, what's your running thing? Or is that Little Debbie's for everything?
My running thing would be the Christmas tree cakes. Those things are dense. They weigh about a quarter pound a piece. I mean, have you ever picked one up and thrown it?
I can't
No,
tell if you're
I've-
being sarcastic or if you're being real right
No,
now.
they're heavy. They're heavy.
Little
They-
Debbie.
I've not ever
could,
thrown a Little Debbie cake at somebody.
and then the other thing, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. Is we're gonna have to go to the audience on this one. Not ho-hos, but it's basically two. They're
Break cakes.
two brownies.
The zingers
on-
that he was talking about.
No, they're bigger than that. They're and there's cream in the middle of them. And there's
Break cakes.
two of them.
With the white icing looped on the top.
No, it's icing in the middle, and then like
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
sponge
It's a
on the
brownie.
outside.
It's got chocolate icing and then white icing on top of it, and it's filled with cream, right?
it's got cream in the middle, but it's just two like brownies
a ding
on
dong?
top. No, it's Susie Q maybe.
No,
Susie
I don't
Q.
know.
I think it's Susie Q.
If you had to do your top 3 Little Debbies, what would they be? Real fast.
Swiss rolls, and Swiss rolls.
When you say Little Debbie, are you just saying like cakes,
Has
or
to be
they
Little
have to be?
Debbie.
I don't know.
I would go
little-
Nutter Butter be number 1.
The only brands that I really know are like at what they have at different gas stations.
Nutter
Like,
Butters. Are
If we're
really
talking
good.
about Flying J cakes or
Be like Swiss cake
No, Little
rolls.
Debbie, like
and then I
Little
like
Debbie.
either the Valentine hearts or the fancy cakes. And then I would do the Nutter Butter.
Shanna
Nutter
says
Butter.
Hostess cupcakes might be what you're talking about, and then Steve Wilk backed you up on Susie Q.
Susie Q. I think that's what it is. It's about time Steve Wilk got my back. He shat on me last week about my Crocs
It happens sometimes.
and has done it more than once.
Nobody
since then.
likes Crocs.
That's not true. That's not true.
I think Vaughn's right on that one.
That's not true.
And his gym is closed and his school is closed and
Yeah, he's
at home
upset.
doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
So he finally tunes into the podcast.
Yeah, maybe I'm being too hard on him.
I think you should have
Devil
a conversation with
squares?
Vaughn about the
Katie, I think you're right.
awesome style footwear choices that his son made while on the way to Disney World.
Oh my goodness.
Socks
What is wrong
and
with him?
sandals.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the teenage boys like love to look like complete goobers.
Garbage.
Yeah, Grayson comes down
Trash.
looking like he's lost a bet every day that he goes to school. I mean, he looks like there's some kind of like spirit day going on, and
Like it's tacky day
he's
at
the
school.
mascot. Yeah, and he loves it. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care at all.
Yep.
And neither does Jackson. And it's almost like he wants it to be worse.
I know.
Like, how can I make this worse, Dad? Because thanks for shitting on my outfit, Dad. How can I make it worse? It's terrible. It really
See,
is.
this is a
terrible.
break cakes I was talking about.
How does he wear his socks? Pulls them up?
I think they're
Pulls
devil
them all
squares.
the
I think
way up.
Katie's right.
I was just seeing somebody with their socks pulled up doesn't look right to me. But that's the way kids do it.
If he can even find his socks to wear them,
Yeah.
if they match.
What
it's
is it with the boys losing their socks? I have to buy Grayson socks all the time.
That is not a question
No.
you can ask on this episode, on this podcast.
Look under the couch.
No,
Look under the mat.
no,
There's
No.
more socks than you ever wanted to find.
y'all
I'm
stop.
not even answering
They're
that
breakaway
question.
socks.
I don't know.
I didn't mean to go down
I
that
don't
trail.
know. I don't
They're
know.
fragile. They'll break like a vase.
Gross. All right, different topic.
I didn't even make a joke. All I did was laugh.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't. I don't have any idea.
Oh man, if you have boys, I feel for you, for sure. Boys are teenage boys. I don't know what to do. It's like having an animal in your house.
That really dumb one.
It's a really dumb animal. I don't. That's the only way I can describe
That
it.
eats and dresses poorly.
Oh goodness, they can't clean anything up. It's just. Oh man, it's bad.
What did I say I thought those things were called? Suzy Q's. I'm going to Google Suzy.
What about devil
Devil
squares?
The devil squares.
They look a lot like devil squares, but they don't have the
icing around
on
them.
it. I mean, they're very. The attraction is the cream in the middle. Suzy Q's. That's what it is. The Suzy Q's.
Suzy Q's.
Yep. We can get past this.
Those aren't little
but they
Debbie's,
do,
though. Those are Hostess.
and they do not sell those at Flying J.
But just to be clear, I was talking about Little Debbie, which is not
Oh,
the same.
Wilson, did you give your answer to trail snack, home snack?
Yeah, trail snack would be the Christmas tree cakes, and the home snack would be Suzy Q. And just the all the time thing would be Poncho's dip.
so would you dip them in the Poncho's dip?
Probably, yeah.
Suzy Q's?
Just why not?
Put Suzy Q's in. That's gross.
Yeah.
He eats like mayonnaise, pickle, peanut butter sandwiches.
People tell me I've probably been told 35 times that I eat like a pregnant woman. I just like stuff mixed together.
My daughter-in-law is the exact opposite. She sent me home with a to-go container from family dinner last weekend. We had burgers and like baked beans, and she made Mexican street corn and something else. And she made this container, and it was like the baked beans in one container, the street corn in another container, and this is all inside a bigger container. And then there was like a sheet of parchment paper, and then like the burger with the cheese on it was in a bag, and the bun was in a bag.
Well, you can't,
inside this
you
container.
can't
She's
store
like,
the burger with the bun on it.
No, I'm not arguing about
That's
that.
why they
but
came
it's-
up with the
but it's-
McDLT
but it's
25
all-
years ago.
It's all the separation. She's like, I
Keep the
can't
hot
stand
side.
my food touching.
Really?
Like, she's one of those people that has to like keep the food from touching.
Will
on
she
her
eat
plate.
it all that way, or once it's time to eat, will she put it together?
She will not put it together.
Really?
I don't like putting mine together.
Doesn't your dad eat everything one piece of something at a time? One?
I mean, I think
like
she'll
that?
take like a bite of this and a bite of that, but they can't touch on the plate.
Huh. Well, then she probably wouldn't like my meal that I invented the other day, and it was really good. So listen up.
I'm listening.
I had some spinach wraps, and on those spinach wraps, I put a pickle, and underneath that pickle, I put peanut butter, and on top of that pickle and peanut butter, I put ranch, and I rolled it up, and it was phenomenal.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So I ate another one, and
Is
then I
that where
felt
my
sick.
spinach wraps went?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was really good, but you don't like
Ranch.
ranch, which is, I don't even know what to say about that. You can't get on me about Crocs and you not like ranch.
I can.
No,
Yes.
you can't.
I can.
That's
I can, and I will.
There's more people who think Crocs are stylish than there are who think ranch is bad. That's a valid argument.
Nobody thinks Crocs are stylish.
I was going to say nobody. Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that think that ranch is bad. I don't know. We're just going to have to call this one a draw where I win.
Truce.
Nobody likes Crocs. Nobody likes Nickelback.
Let's just
The people who like Crocs like Nickelback.
to be clear, I don't like Nickelback. I don't want to get lumped into that category.
It's the same demographic.
Yeah, I walked in the house the other day and he was jamming out to Nickelback.
No, I was not.
Look at this
That's a lie.
photograph.
That's a lie.
Every time I do it makes me laugh. Look
Y'all
at my
are spreading
Crocs.
hate speech is what y'all are doing.
Look at my Crocs on my feet.
Oh, that's funny.
The sun came out the other day.
Holy moly.
Doesn't that feel good?
It did.
Well, it went back in.
It definitely went back in, and it's sucking now. But that moment when the sun comes out, and it kind of reminds you that like things are really good. Like the sun, I don't know if the sun affects you the way that it does me, but I don't ever really know how not good I feel in the winter until the spring gets here, and I just really love that feeling.
Oh, I do too, man. And I said at the beginning of this winter, I'm not going to get depressed.
Yeah.
I am not going to because the last 2 winters have just been terrible for
Yeah.
me. Like, I've just been in a bad mood, bad attitudes. Like you go to work, you get off work, it's dark, and you drive home, and it's dark and cold, and I'm just like in a terrible, terrible mood. And I'm like, I'm not going to let that happen to me this year. And to an extent, I haven't. I think I've won for the most part. But now it's just so, especially going on vacation, it's sunny, then I come back and now it's gloomy again today.
But it'll change.
But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for sunshine.
I've had the best 3 winters by far that I've had in my adultish life, which still is, there's still a clear difference between, spring and summer and winter.
You've had the best 3 winters in your adult life. What do you attribute that to? I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. It's a lot of things.
My wife.
But yeah, sure. I mean,
No,
a
yeah,
big
sure.
part of that.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Yeah, throw me with the Crocs.
That's a good answer. My Crocs and my wife.
But I've just always had.
Well, we were talking about sunshine and how that makes you happy, and you don't realize it. And then you were like, I've had the best 3 winters ever. And I just felt like there was because of. Sorry.
No, I
Didn't
don't
mean to
really
put you on the
know.
spot.
I don't really know because of anything. I've just felt. I'm just having
That's
more.
awesome.
I'm just having more fun at this time of my life than I've
seriously, that's
ever
awesome.
had.
That is
things are
very
really
good. Yeah.
really good. I need to make fitness more of a priority, though. I'm having a problem like getting motivated to do the stuff I should be doing.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of factors to that. I think it's our age. I think has a little bit to do with it, where you're just not as excited about how many kipping pull-ups you can do in a minute
Yeah.
as you were 10 years ago. And then I think that it has a lot to do with working out is just not as exciting. What am I going to do at the gym today? We all now, it used to be back in the day, you didn't know what you were doing. Like you were going to you'd go to the gym, at least in CrossFit, and it'd be on a whiteboard that somebody wrote 30 minutes ago, and they may have just made it up, and you would never know. Now we've got apps. We look, we see the whole week in advance, and you're like, I don't want to do that today, or I don't want to do this. This is no fun. It's 63% of my 63.2 of my, I've been on this.
I gotta disagree with you about all that.
Well, that's fine, but I think you're wrong. I think we just miss like a thing of just having fun at the gym, like where all my friends are going to be there. We're going to have a good time. We're going to work out. We're going to do all these things. It's just different than it used to be,
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of masters athletes out there that are significantly older than us that would disagree about that it's an age-related issue, and they find pleasure in the things that annoy us. I think it's a mentality thing. We're just in a different place where we're not enjoying working out as much right now.
I think life gets in the way.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm not saying there's not extenuating circumstances, but I saw a quote, and I'm going to butcher the quote, but paraphrasing it basically like the elite athlete finds pleasure in the repetitive things that they do that annoys the non-elite athlete. Like, God, why do we do pull-ups every single day? Why do we do this every single day? You know, and an elite athlete like embraces that, and they're like, holy crap, I get to do pull-ups again today. I get to get better at pull-ups today.
That's why the elite athlete annoys the not elite athlete.
No, I'm saying something completely different, I think. And I'm not saying it very well.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, which is, I do that a lot. But I think that I'm not a competitive athlete, and you trying to program for me to be a competitive athlete is never going to work.
That's super obnoxious.
And it's not going to be fun. Like if I'm just going to the gym and doing fun workouts and just moving and getting better and getting stronger, that is fun to me. It's not fun to me to go, oh, well, you better do this so you can do well at the Open, or you got to be a competitive athlete, or this and that. That's not fun. You know, what's fun is like me beating Brian's ass at the workout.
just beating his ass.
Like, so what if we do pull-ups every day as long as we beat Brian? Yeah, you know, that's fun, right? Like, it's not. I'm not competitive, and most people aren't.
Yeah,
like,
but we all love beating Brian.
And stop trying to coach me as a competitive athlete when that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to move and stay in shape and have a good time. You know, that's my take. But again, I could be completely wrong, and you're right. Everybody's an athlete, and
I have a very long rant related to that as a former coach, but I'll save it for another day.
Thank you. All right. So I have some good documentaries that I've been watching. Some really good documentaries.
Who called these good documentaries?
McMillions.
You have to, what's that?
Have you not seen McMillions?
No.
Holy
Man,
cow.
it came out on HBO.
It's on Netflix now, I think.
Is it on Netflix?
Maybe on HBO.
Is it a
I don't
series
know.
or a documentary?
It's a docu-series.
Yeah. Did you know that there were no legitimate winners of that Monopoly game at McDonald's over all the years?
Maybe I knew that,
It
but
was
I want to see
awful.
that. If that's what that is, I want to see it.
I've only watched like 3 or 4 episodes, but like all the people that won were related to the security guy that was in charge of.
Oh,
I've heard rumors
I've heard
of
this
that.
before.
Holy
Oh, wow.
crap!
I just figured they never printed like a couple of the pieces to ensure that nobody would ever win.
Can we watch it tonight?
The
I have to do
FBI?
my final, but you can.
No.
The FBI got involved with
So
it.
I haven't watched McMillions, but I've heard that story before somewhere on something I watched. And so it's interesting. I didn't realize that's what it was about.
Yeah, it's amazing. I am enjoying it. Yeah.
Speaking of McDonald's and stuff that they give you, do you remember those little blue creatures that they would give you with a Happy Meal? They were like figurines. They weren't Snorks, but they were similar to that. Somebody in the audience knows who they're talking.
I know what
I'm talking
Snorks
about.
are.
I need to know what they're called. I had a ton of them. I ate a couple.
Smurfs?
I've eaten a few Happy Meals.
I was
in
gonna
my
say a Smurf.
day. It wasn't a Smurf. I don't think. It couldn't have been a Smurf.
Because most of the time their prizes were some kind of
Cartoon?
cross-promotional thing for some show or
But I was
cartoon
on
or
the
something.
cutting edge of the Smurfs. So I knew these were not Smurfs. They were like Snorks or something similar.
No, I still have one of my Snorks from McDonald's.
From McDonald's?
Yes.
Okay, maybe they were in Happy Meals before they were on TV.
She's wearing a red dress and she's holding a tennis racket, and it's the girl with the little sideburn things that flip up.
He
I
thinks
have it in the
he
house
thinks you've got it nailed
right
right
now.
now. He does.
No.
You're convincing him that you're...
But she's purple. She's a purple Snork.
It is purple. The thing was purple, but I don't think it was Snorks. I think it was something else.
So tell us about these good documentaries.
Okay, there's one that I haven't watched recently, but everybody needs to watch. There's my dad will know the answer to it. There's a guy who sells a grill.
George Foreman.
It's very, very different than a George Foreman. It's an outdoor barbecue grill. And the guy gets home, and there's a human foot in it, like all the way up to the shin, and it's been not petrified, mummified, whatever. It's somebody's leg. Well, then the guy wants the leg back, and the guy's like, "Nah, I paid for the grill, and the leg belongs to me." And he's like, "Well, that's my grandfather's leg. He lost it in an airplane accident, and I need that leg back." And he's like, "You can't have it back because I've got this grill," and he's gonna like put it on display and charge people to come look at this leg. He's got like a business plan. And the story is about them going back and forth and how they legally kind of go through the process of seeing who this leg belongs to.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
I thought that was his leg that he lost in like an airplane accident.
Was it his leg? I don't think that's accurate.
Anyway, it's a leg.
That's an important
Wilson
detail.
may not have been paying attention to this very good
Okay,
documentary.
but the one the newest one that's out is Dream Killer.
They
That's
made a
Brian's.
documentary about me.
He didn't even know he was.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. It's about a kid that is accused of murdering someone, and his friend pinned him for it because he like had a dream or doesn't really remember it. But 2 years later, he's like, "We were involved, and I helped kill him, and so did this other guy." And it's a story to get him out, and it's badass, and you need to watch it.
Interesting.
Wow.
Dream Killer. And also you need to watch the trials of Fernando
Gabriel Fernandez.
Yeah, I don't like
Gabriel.
I don't like those kind of.
Fernandez.
What
It
is
was
that? What is
so sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
What kind of things do you not like?
Like crime documentary type things.
Do you not?
I don't.
You're not
I don't
a true
enjoy those
crime
at all.
person?
No, I don't enjoy those.
Well, sorry for bringing it up then.
No, I'm glad you enjoy it. That's not something I would seek to watch.
In the news, the Hot Pocket heiress was jailed for smuggling her daughter into college. Did y'all hear about that?
Isn't this old news? Like, yeah.
It's old news that people have been doing it. I don't know that it's old news that the Hot Pocket heiress did it. I think it's different when it's the Hot Pocket heiress than when it's just some
It's
like-
now all of a sudden it's relevant to you.
Now it means something.
What do you mean smuggled her in? Like
She paid a bunch of money.
Did-
didn't have
It's
the
like the
grades
whole-
to make it in.
Yeah.
But she got her in anyway.
Yeah.
Didn't
paid
Aunt
like-
Becky just do this and get
Yeah.
like a?
Yeah, but Aunt Becky didn't have
A Hot
as
Pocket
much
empire.
to do in my life as
Who's Aunt
the hot-
Becky?
She was on Full House. It's an actress.
Oh, I was thinking they were the same person.
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
There's quite a few people. Because didn't Felicity Huffman, wasn't she one of the moms
I think so.
that got in trouble for this?
Yeah.
There's quite a few celebrities that basically they paid a coach to pretend like they were interested in their kid. And like the coach basically went to the admissions office and said, "We would like this kid on the team." And so they admitted the kid to the school, and then the kid never played that sport and had never, ever played that sport.
Just because you had enough money to
Yeah.
pay him.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
I would do that.
I would.
I am not. I don't think there's.
I am
anything
not an
wrong with
ethical
it.
person.
I would do it. I don't even think it's unethical. Like some people can afford to do that. They get to do that. Like I
think it's
feel
definitely unethical. I think that is about the definition of ethical. However, I think that I am unethical enough to do that. I mean,
But
if
I'm
the
not.
situation came
Maybe
up,
it is unethical, but I don't get upset about it. Like because if I had that money, I would do the same damn thing.
Yeah.
For my son or whatever. If I somehow had $100,000 to give to somebody so that he could play on a basketball team,
yep.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
And I'm sure that the situation was like, I'll handle it. Like, just give me the money. It won't be a big deal. And they're like, well.
Yeah, there was
it'll be fine.
definitely some third-party guy that was doing the brokering of the deals.
I will insert a caveat that I'm thinking about now that I'm thinking about this. Like, I would pay the $100,000 for my son to get on the basketball team unless he sucked at basketball. Like, if he was good
Well, so just to be clear,
if he was good at basketball, like, I would do like, here's the $100,000. My son's going to make you win the thing, and he deserves it. But
No, I
otherwise
think
he
these are people that aren't even going to participate in
No,
the sport.
they're
They're just
it's-
getting them into
It's basically
college.
like you saying to you going and finding this coach being like, let's just say Jackson sucked at basketball, and it'd be like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 for you to say that you're interested in signing Jackson to the basketball team if he was admitted to the school.
You'll
And
never
then-
see him again.
And he's not gonna play basketball.
And he's never. He doesn't even have to sign up for the team or anything. He just gets admitted to the school. That's all. That's all they're doing is admitting him to the school.
Amanda would not do that, I'm thinking.
No.
Amanda would never do. There's no question.
Sorry.
Amanda's the most ethical person on this couch. I think.
What about Dream Crusher? He's a pretty ethical guy.
I don't know. I think he likes to make
I'm
you.
sketchy as fuck.
I think he just wants you to think he's ethical.
Yeah.
He does a good job at that.
I agree. What else? What else you got? Oh, did y'all happen to see the article? This is from a couple weeks ago. You know, we talked about the difference between a GIF and a GIF and which one was correct.
One is peanut butter, and one is a thing that's animated on the internet.
The very next day, an article came out about it. The very next day.
They were wrong too.
Did you see at Give Camp? Did you ever see any of the slides that were going in the fishbowl?
No.
One of them said it's pronounced, and in quotes it just said GIF.
You feel pretty strongly about being right, even after that article. Although the article, was it in my favor or yours?
The article, first of all, was written by the peanut butter company, who is named Jif. So
The guy who created the graphics interchange format says that Vaughn is right, specifically because Vaughn took a stance. He's like, I'm on Vaughn's team.
That was why.
And so
He
yeah,
was
that's
silent up until that point. He saw it on the podcast and was like, we got to.
Exactly. He's
So
like,
Vaughn is sticking with what, GIF?
Jif.
Jeff, sorry. Okay, Jeff.
I feel like you changed your. No, Jeff. Jeff. No, that's right.
Right
I
now.
feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone.
Well, I felt like just a second ago.
Did I say GIF?
Just
Or did
a
I say
second
GIF?
ago, you were like, that article was by the peanut butter company. So that article wasn't right, is what I was getting. And then you said that it's Jeff.
No. The peanut butter company was saying they want their name to be Jif.
That's
but
right.
You can't call it a Jif.
There's
you have to
only
call
one
it a
Jif, and it's smooth
There's only
and
one-
creamy.
That's right, which is bullshit.
Well,
Because
that was the
it's
more
got nuts in it.
that
if you
was
eat
the more
peanut
important
butter.
point. Okay, I'll give you the GIF argument, but the maker of the peanut butter said that there's only one kind, and that's smooth and creamy, which took your crunchy
No,
and knocked it out of the park. Like it's not even
They also
even a valid argument.
I don't even know why they're doing this.
It's
Isn't
not
that-
even recognized by
He
the people who
says-
make peanut butter.
He dismisses the whole article and every argument that they're making. He doesn't agree with what they think they should call it, and he doesn't agree that it should only be smooth. and
I
creamy.
know, like I don't even
Disagreeing with the facts does not change the facts.
whoever runs PR for Jif needs to be fired.
They
And
need to hire the Wendy's social
They should
media
hire
person.
me.
Smooth and creamy.
No,
Smooth
crunchy.
and creamy.
That's who we need to try and get onto the show. We need to try and get the Wendy's social media person
Holy
on the
Oh
show.
man.
That'd be
Never.
amazing.
How awesome would it be just to sit around with them for an hour? I'll bet you know what? It's probably Emily Reed, and we just don't even realize it.
It's somebody very similar to Emily Reed. I mean, what do you think they get paid?
Not enough.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this before, but there have been times that I've seen Wendy's Twitter account burn somebody, and like I go to Wendy's for lunch that day. Like, let me help pay that person's
There
salary.
is if you go and look, the girl that started that Wendy's Twitter account, she is not doing it anymore. The original person who was, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have to go look it up, but the girl who ran that account and started burning everybody, like, was the legit person who did it, is not the person who's running it now.
Really?
But she's off doing I think she's like works in PR or
Probably teaching brands how to do social media. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, and I forget what her name is. I'm gonna have to go look it up. But
She was a legit Wendy's employee. She was a representative of Wendy's.
she was hired to run that Twitter account.
Okay.
And she was the one. There is a girl who it was her idea to be like the most badass Twitter account and just spout off to people, and she did it so good.
How old was she? Is she?
Oh, I don't. She's young. She's not young, but she's probably 30s.
Yeah.
Talking about, and not that that's surprising who that is or how young they are, but did you guys see? It's probably been 3 or 4 months ago now that there's a Memphis Grizzlies fan account.
Yes.
And it turned out it was like when this girl started it, she was like 13 years old. She had more followers.
Made in Memphis?
I think it is.
That's
Made
it?
in Memphis 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly
Yeah.
Henderson.
So now she's.
I knew you were going to have more
Now
information about
she's
that.
like a PR. She's a PR communications student, like in college. But she created this account, and nobody knew who she was. Everybody just assumed she was, some middle-aged dude or whatever. But she kept crushing it,
Yeah.
with what she was doing, and had players retweeting her and all sorts of stuff. And I just thought it was a cool story that, like, at the point that she started that, and when she really gained a lot of momentum, she was a teenager.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So-
and now she's 19.
Yeah, she's like 18 or
But
19. Yeah.
her content is awesome. 'Cause the Grizzly, I mean, she can talk about basketball in a legit way, which is I think is really cool.
Well, that's what I read about her is that, she knew all the players. It
Right.
wasn't like she was just a good writer. Like she had the information. Do y'all remember that the man with the golden voice, that announcer that they found? He was homeless,
Yeah, I do remember that.
and they found him,
And somebody gave him a job.
yeah,
Huh. I
and-
never heard that story.
and he was
You do,
singing.
you
He
just
was
forgot
singing
about it.
on the street or something. And anyways, they cleaned him up. They got him a apartment. He was working for some NBA team, and he was the voice of that team.
Whenabouts was this?
Early 2000s,
Yeah.
Interesting.
mid 2000s.
And then they couldn't keep him sober. Lost that gig. But it's an interesting thing.
Chris Hope remembers.
What's his name?
I remember.
Chris, do you remember his name?
Come off the information, Chris.
What time is it?
It's that time.
Almost that time.
You got anything else to bring up, talk about?
Any more
Are you
internet?
going to
memes
be
you want
like, oh, if only we had more time. I wish we could have talked about this.
I'm
Another
going to
internet
give you
meme.
the last 3 minutes of the show. Do with it what you will.
I think
That's
we should-
my
I
that's
think
my
we should
gift
sit
for
in
you.
silence.
That's my gift to you.
Silence.
Don't say I never did anything for you.
Godspeed.
You can't talk about me hogging the microphone when I just gave you 3 minutes that I'm talking through.
And yet you're still talking.
Yeah.
Godspeed. Mickey Mouse. Hopefully Disney World will open.
I'm supposed to be there next month. It better
soon.
open back up.
I don't think you're going to be seeing Disney.
I don't think
We
so
can
either.
all work remotely for another few weeks and get back to normal.
I'll work remotely and we'll see how that goes.
People will die.
Actually, when I attend codes to
Ted
save.
Williams, the golden voice.
Oh wow, where'd you
Steve
get that
Wilk.
from? Steve Wilk.
Your
there
man.
you
I'm
go.
telling you, he's
Yeah.
back,
He's trying to redeem
back
himself.
in my good graces.
He's trying to redeem himself.
Love you, Steve. You're my guy. I accept your apology.
Yeah, I think my trip is not going to happen as well. I'm just wondering about like how long things are going to be canceled for, because I've got the Marine Corps Historic Half in May, Nashville Music City
crap.
Tri in June.
I've got that marathon in Waco, Texas in April.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Well,
that's why you
one
can't go to
thing's for
Orlando.
sure, our birthdays are not going to be canceled in June.
No,
That's
and
for sure.
I'm sure it's still going to be hot as balls.
What are y'all going to do for your
in
birthday?
June.
I don't know.
This is a semi-significant year.
It'll be
Be
a
the big
pirate
4 or
ride.
5
Ooh.
new age group.
Yeah, there you go.
4 or 5. Wow. Okay.
We're
You're right,
going into
that
a new
is.
age group. I won't be the spry youngster in our age group though. So I got nothing. Next few months should be interesting.
Well, I know one thing. Lift heavy, run long. Number
82.
182.
Is in the books.